And there you have it, because we're in a constant maelstrom of performance here in the city of art and innovation, and even beyond its borders. So let's continue with the Ask Dr. Hal show. We have so many questions.
That means that Kim Leary's question will be answered.
Tim Leary.
It says right here, it says, place gratuity in the envelope. Do you have a problem? Are you the kind of person who yells at a stage while a guy's got a microphone? Are you that kind of person? Yeah, I figured. Okay. The question is...
We forgive you.
The question is, what should I do when I grow up?
What would you tell someone?
My dear friend, the question you ask is almost pathetic in its evocation of the human condition. We are always wondering about ends of our journey, when we should be concentrating on the journey itself. As we travel through life, let us consider that life itself is nothing more than a pattern of growth. Growth in the body, or anabolism, begins at birth, and one grows until one becomes an adult at approximately age 26. After this, there is a plateau period, and after this, it grieves me to say that deterioration, degeneration, and the true mother of all diseases, age, swings into action. You will grow older and older and more decrepit. But the tragedy of growing old is not that you are old, but that you are young. Inside this decaying husk, you're still as young as you ever were, but nobody will believe it or give you any credit for it. Yes, this is very sad. Now remind me what this question was again, Chicken?
What is she supposed to do with her life? This is the most important moment of her entire thing.
But this is physical growth and development. Beyond that, there is spiritual growth. This should never stop. Because once it does, what you have to do is die. If you're not going anywhere, you have stopped. And another name for this is death. Remember, the more you continue to learn and develop, the more you elaborate and construct yourself, so that growth is still occurring. But the moment you have decided to throw in the towel, then you are only a meat bag suitable for shuffling into the crematory. And so I say unto you, keep enjoying yourself by changing yourself and growing mentally. And then when the destination comes, you will not be lost, but you will have a greater appreciation, and you won't be wild with all regret.
Do not be wild with regret.
That's right. Do not be wild with all regret.
Nor be wild with anticipation.
Well, you're setting yourself up for a disappointment there. A disappointment which is going to have a savage conclusion. We don't like yelling, but what was that yelling once again?
She wants to know where she should be wild.
Burning Man. No, not there.
Burning Man hasn't been wild for a long, long time.
You should be wild in your own skull. You should be wild within you. You should never be tame within yourself.
Actually, you know what? Can I jump in here for a second? I'm going to tell you exactly what not to be like. Ladies and gentlemen, the Smoke Pot Guy. This is just, use this guy as a handy guy, as a ruler, and you're going to be just fine. Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. I didn't even say children in a blender yet.
Well, one should be ruled
Black Plague
by an understanding of things, which to alchemists and magicians is known as the law. Or if I could quote an ancient text, attribut rex legi quod lex attribute ei videlicet dominatione et potestatem, and so forth and so on. That is to say, let the king attribute to law what the law attributes to him. That is to say, domination and power. For where the will rules and not the law, then there is no law and no king. If you understand the way things are and operate within that framework, you have nothing but success in front of you. If you kick against the traces, you're going to come down hard. Yes, indeed.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, when you hear this music, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with our show, that music indicates the
speed round, when I only have a few words to answer your questions, which may have been composed with much effort and labor. And we're sorry about that, but we're going to go with the speed round.
Our first question, how shall I discover my definite major purpose?
By seeking it.
What really happens when you divide by zero?
You feel a little bit smarter and a little bit stupider.
What is the atomic weight of tungsten?
Pretty high. That's a tough metal, and it's causing great misery in this world.
What's the largest sea mammal to ever have been sucked up into a water spout and deposited on land?
That would have been a gigantic, horrible, prehistoric carnivorous whale. All whales are carnivorous, known alternatively as Basilosaurus or
zoogladon.
Zoogladon. Zoogladon. Zoogladon.
Zoogladon.
How do you like it?
rare. Well done, not only gives you cancer, it doesn't taste as good.
How many vaginas does a panda have?
Enough to get the job done.
Why does white look so weird under a black light?
Because white contains all colors.
What did the Jehovah's witness?
They witnessed persecution in Nazi concentration camps for their inane belief.
What? Ow, that's gotta hurt. Ouch. Manned spaceflight. To some, it is meaningless. To others, it is merely pointless. Where do you stand on this, Hal?
Where do I stand on a man in a can? I'm glad it's them and not me, but go for it.
If you claim everything you are told is a lie, what percentage of the time would you be right?
Never.
Does Santa Claus have OCD? I mean, he's always checking his list twice.
He's thorough, as we try to be.
Instead of sending gangsters to prison, should they be sent to jail?
They should be sent to college and given a thorough education.
A Democrat through and through, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Is chicken secretly heir to his great uncle Francesco's spaghetti sauce empire?
Well, you know, there's that trouble about the will. I don't know if we want to go into that here.
In Brussels, are they just called sprouts?
They are if nobody wants to get into a fist fight.
Which will prevail, the Android or the iPhone?
The actual Android.
Salvatore Dali dedicated many of his paintings to his wife, Gala. Who was she married to before Dali?
She was married to art, before, during, and after.
Is fat the past tense of fit?
It is the previous tense of fate.
What will happen to our oceans after the oil spill?
A lot of vinegar will be needed.
Why does my cat steal Travis's fake mustache and put them in her water dish?
She's bored.
Will consequences ever be the same?
They've already passed the point where they can.
If someone sneaks a naked sleeping picture of you and posts it online, is it more embarrassing if you have a boner or not?
I was promised that that wouldn't happen.
What's the question you've been dying to be asked, but have never been asked?
If there is a question I'd really like to be asked, it is this. Will you accept from me this $10,000 check? Me, in this case, not being me, but the asker of the question.
You're supposed to say, can I have a shot of Fernet, Hal? That was a perfect setup.
Yeah, but Fernet is free for me. My mom always told me to finish what you were given and clean your plate.
I have a side note that says that there is no Francesco Rinaldi.
Oh no!
That is terrible, but
David Capurro?
maybe there will be Zappa. You might want to get into that whole thing with the sauce factory.
Okay,
Well,
so I have a question for you here.
This must be the last question.
No, it's not the last question. So, if Sewing Sally
When they begin
swans...
with so, I just hate it when somebody begins a question.
Okay, no problem, yeah.
All right, just tear off the so and
Yeah.
ask me the question.
If Sewing Sally sung a song in the sun, what would the song sound like that Sewing Sally sung?
No doubt Sewing Sally would sing a song that was suitably splendid and spiffy, such as the song about Theophilus the thistle sifter, who sifted 6 thistles into the thick of his thumb. See therefore that thou, when thou siftest thistles, sift not 6 thistles into the thick of thy thumb. Because they're hard to get out. You need tweezers.
I would like to offer a shot of Fernet for the Susie singing sons. You again? Get a job, hippie. Here, would you like a melatonin? Here, come here. How about this? There you go. Calm down. You're killing me. I could have said that was strychnine and you still would have ate it.
There's something stuck to the bottom of your shoe. I think it's toilet paper.
You know, if you had your own K-Rob, you could say things like,
Now the world don't move, you and I have this one trouble.
It's a piece of cake.
yeah. The possibilities are quite endless. And in conclusion, I would like to add, just for, you know, just to make sure that we all know exactly what we're dealing with here. It's gonna get uncomfortable.